What's going on, guys? Today I am going to be presenting a Harpie Lady deck profile for 2021 after Blazing Vortex. Harpies are just like a very cool deck that I really love to play. And they're like really good at dismantling boards and setting up control fields as well. So they're a deck that can really function well going first or second, which is another really strong thing about Harpie Ladies. And it's just been a deck I've enjoyed for quite some time. So I thought I would do a deck profile today. So if you do like Harpie Ladies, please feel free to like and subscribe. And I'm going to go into the list and sort of explain it in depth. But yeah, so Blazing Vortex did help the deck a little bit, sort of in the same way it helped every deck, but not like such a huge impact. So yeah, this is just the list I'm running for this format, and yep, starting off with 3 Harpie Channeler, just like the best starter in the deck. Arguably, there's more, like Perfumer is also a very nice starter, but Channeler's ability to get Perfumer and any Harpie Lady and get 2 bodies on board is very, very nice. And she does have a nifty effect that she becomes level 7 if there is a dragon on field, which assists with your Harpie Lady Perfumer. This is arguably the best starter in the deck, along with Channeler. Like, you could choose which one's the best starter. Perfumer is a little more consistent in my opinion, because she just needs to have herself in Search Elegant Egotist to extend. But Channeler into Perfumer is also very nice. These are how you're going to get into most of your plays and spam bodies on board, so you can kind of combo into Simorg or go for game going second. Both these are just very nice extenders for the archetype and the strongest monsters in the archetype. So we are going to max both of them out at 3. And next up is 3 Harpie Harpist. So this is like a Skarm or a Dark Soul, however you want to like describe Harpist. If during the end phase, if she's in the graveyard because she was sent there, you can add a Harpie monster with, I believe, 1500 or less defense or attack. 1500 or less attack, which is, you know, it's Perfumer and Channeler have 1400 attack, so that works out very nicely for them. Harpist can't search herself because of that, but she is very good at refueling Harpie names, so if you want to have a follow-up with Channeler, she can do that. However, she has synergy with a big card for the deck that I will explain later on in the spells. And it's one of the reasons this deck is like so good at breaking boards. And yeah, Harpist is just really good because she's like a monster that replaces herself. Yeah. She's also a name, which is very important. So if you're like discarding her off Channeler, it's essentially free. Really good in grind games and follow-up plays. And yeah, those are the 3 ofs we play for the Harpie engine. And then I play 1 queen. Might be a little lower than some builds choose to play. I don't think you really need more than 1 queen, at least game 1. You can choose to side additional queen against back row decks. I don't choose to do that currently. But I've seen some lists, you know, when they want more hunting ground, they either assign in more queen or more hunting ground. It's just an option you can do. I think 1 queen's fine. And then 1 dancer. She has a couple of applications. She's not one you have to play. But again, she's a name. And she's also really good against back row decks for the same reason queen is, right? Like, queen, you could choose to play more queen, like 2 queen instead of the dancer. However, I like dancer for a couple of reasons, and that's because, like, if you get hunting ground, she's essentially 2 pops, and then she can like pop 1 card your opponent controls and like 1 you control if you need it to be that way. And that's like her main use, is to be able to like pop more back row and get extra summons. She does come up in niche situations, but yeah, I've just found her versatility to be a little better than the 2nd queen. So yeah, I do choose to play that. And then next up is 3 Harpie Lady, the original one. So some people play Harpie Lady number 1 in this slot. I choose to play the original vanilla, and there's a couple of reasons why the vanilla is just a little better, in my opinion. One is Unexpected Die, which I'll get to later. And that's a real reason to play this over Harpie Lady 1, is this is so much more like summonable with Unexpected Die, getting you a Harpie Lady on the field instantly to either extend or get a Harpie Lady name on the field so you can Egotist. And this is what you're going to be summoning on Egotist, and we need to max it at 3 because you can run through all 3 turn 1 and very easily. So yeah, we're going to max her out at 3. And another reason she is the one I prefer to play over Harpie Lady number 1 is Imduck, who happens to be a dragon, which is very useful. So yeah, 3 Harpie Lady. And that is 14 Harpie monsters. Yeah, that's 14 Harpie monsters. You really want to see one, and you don't mind seeing multiples because of Channeler, so You just want to make sure you see a Harpie Lady so that Egotist is live. And then lastly, one Wind Barrier statue. This is for the Simorgh. Simorgh has the nice effect in this deck where it can special Harpie Lady monsters, so you can get Channelers and Perfumers and follow-up plays and stuff, so you don't need to run like Apex Avian. This is the last monster I choose to play. You can run Avian in the deck. I currently choose not to. In fact, you can even do like Union Carrier stuff and get Avian and Thunderbird relatively easy in this deck. But yeah, they're just like such big bricks, and I want to like maximize consistency, so just one barrier statue. And then on to spell cards. So starting off, we have 3 Pot of Prosperity. This is the like main card Blazing Vortex gave this deck. And it's so good because you don't need all 15 cards in your extra deck. You really never did. And I've played Extravagance in a couple of Harpie lists, but Prosperity is better for searching specific cards you need, in my opinion. Like, Sign is such an important card in this deck, so Prosperity being able to find Sign, or even Storm, like being able to search those specific cards when you need them is very, very powerful. Of course, you have to watch out going second because you won't be able to OTK them the turn you use this, and there are a couple draw cards in the deck you have to be very aware of for Pot of Prosperity, but overall this card just adds so much consistency to the deck, and it's something I definitely want to maximize. But you can play Extravagance, and Extravagance is very good in this list. I'm sort of testing Prosperity because being able to pick and choose the cards you want out of 6 is very powerful, and past game 1 searching for side deck cards is insane. So I'm preferring Prosperity right now, but if you don't have Prosperity, you can easily play Extravagance. And yes, next up is 3 Hysteric Sign, definitely one of the most powerful cards in the entire deck. It searches Egotist when you activate it, but the real power of Hysteric Sign is during the end phase. If it was sent to the graveyard, you can search 3 cards with Harpie in their name, which is insane because it searches Channeler, a Harpie monster, and Featherstorm. And the real reason to play this deck, in my opinion, is Featherstorm, because it's essentially an engine Azathoth, which is absolutely bonkers. And Hysteric Sign, being able to search 3, like, that is a card, like, this card in any other deck would be like banned instantly. Like, its power level is far beyond what it should be. Searching 3 is, Block Dragon searches 3. I believe. I actually wasn't playing during Adamantipator format, so I might be wrong. But yeah, Hysteric Sign is bonkers. So I'm gonna maximize this because we want to see it. It like, at worst, it searches Hysteric Sign, which is a crazy extender. And then 3 Egotist. I'm choosing to maximize on this. Like, the downside of maximizing it is if you see it with no Harpie monster, it's very, very bad. But yeah, it's your main extender. You're gonna run through multiples of this turn 1. It's how you like climb into other things, and it's just very, very good. So 3 Hysteric Sign, or not Hysteric Sign, 3 Elegant Egotist. Then 2 Hunting Ground. I played one of these in some lists, but right now it's a pretty back row heavy format, so 2 Hunting Ground seems okay. It has Harpie in its name, so at worst you can discard it off Channeler. But yeah, it's like, just the way it pops back row is so crazy because you can dismantle your entire opponent's board very, very easy with Hunting Ground. And yeah, it also has Harpie Lady Sisters in its text, so Perfumer can search it. 1 Feather Rest. This is the other card besides Egotist and Hunting Ground that Perfumer can search. And Feather Rest, just 1 because it can be, bricky when you open it. It doesn't do anything, like if you open it with nothing else, but on turn 1 you're going to use this a lot. But this is what you have to watch out for with Prosperity, because you can't draw cards the turn you use Prosperity's effect, so you have to hold this if you Prosperity that turn. But yeah, it's just so good because it recycles like 3 Harpie monsters, usually Harpie Lady, so you can like reuse Egotist or see them in deck, but also like Perfumer, Channeler. And then you either draw 1 or draw 2 if you control a level 5 or higher Harpie monster, which is very, very easy because usually you're going to get that with Perfumer. You're going to get 2 searches off Perfumer anyways in like your really good hands. So you're already going to have a Harpie monster over level 5. So it can be Channeler, who's boosted because there's a dragon on board, usually M-Duck, or you made Cyber/Harpie Lady and you can draw 2. So it becomes a very nice in-engine Pot of Avarice. Then we have 1 Unexpected Die and 1 Swallow's Nest. This is something I've been trying recently, but honestly, I think 2 Unexpected Die might be a little better. Swallow's Nest is very good for dodging cards like Imperm, but Imperm, it's been out of the format recently, or that you see less of it. So I think when Imperm's in the meta, Swallow's Nest is a good pick because you can use Chandler effect, they chain Imperm, and you can Swallow's Nest her away, and that's very, very good. But Unexpected Die is just like so good for searching Harpie Lady because it's how Chandler reaches her ceiling with Imduck being on the field, and it's just a great starter for Harpie Lady, so you can use Elegant Egotist, so it's very, very good. So right now it's Unexpected Die and Swallow's Nest, but you can easily take out a Swallow's Nest for an Unexpected Die. I do like the versatility Swallow's Nest gives though for like OTKing and dodging certain effects, so it is a good card, just I kind of want to run a second Unexpected Die instead. And then here comes a big one, and that's 3 Dark Ruler No More. However, this should be Forbidden Droplets. I do not currently own Forbidden Droplets, so I'm substituting for Dark Ruler No More. But in a lot of decks, you can say Dark Ruler is a fantastic substitute for Forbidden Droplets if you don't own it, because it essentially, you know, does the same thing. However, in this deck like abuses Forbidden Droplets. If you look at cards like Harpist and most importantly Hysteric Sign, you can send these away with droplets and get huge effects off of them, like activate this turn 1, do your Symbolic play, get the barrier statue, set droplets, and they start doing anything, and you droplets your sign away and like a Harpist in hand to negate 2 monsters. And then not only are their attacks halved, so they might have a much more difficult time getting past your barrier statue, during your end phase you're going to search 4 cards. Like, that's insane. Just pitching sign means you're going to search 3 cards off Forbidden Droplets, and that, if that's not abuse, I don't know what that is. That you definitely abuse Forbidden Droplet in this deck. And this might be Forbidden Droplet's like best deck. Not like its strongest deck, because obviously it's good in every meta deck that's playing it, but just the like the way to abuse Droplet in this deck is very powerful. So if you have Droplet, definitely play Droplet, but Dark Ruler No More, still a decent substitute. You can break boards. It helps you going second. As you see, we're running no Ash Blossom, so the design is definitely more to break boards with cards like Hunting Ground, Droplets, or Dark Ruler, and then go into Utopia Double and kill them, because as I'll explain later, Utopia Double, this is Double's best deck by far. So 3 Dark Ruler, but really should be Droplets. I just do not own them. Then we have a Mind Control. Again, good go second for, you know, baiting negates or stealing problematic cards. Called By, just one of the best cards in the game. And one of the most versatile cards in the game, just super, super sacky. Harpie's Feather Duster. Now this is a big one because it's an engine card as well. There's actually ways to search Feather Duster, which is amazing. And then also it has Harpie in its name, so it can be pitched for Chandler, searched off Hysteric Sign, just very, very powerful back row destruction that is also an engine. And then 1 Monster Reborn, just a good extender, like good to like do extra combos with. It's just a very powerful card. And then lastly for spells is the 1 Double or Nothing. So this is Utopia Double's best deck in my opinion, and I play like quite a few rank 4 decks, and I have to say this is the best Utopia Double deck, and that's because it has Hunting Ground, which can pop all back row your opponent controls, and it has Featherstorm, which negates all activated monster effects. So if you pop all their back row, and then they can't Ash or do anything to negate double, essentially you just win right there. So it is mandatory in this deck by far. And you main deck Ferrigit in your extra deck, so you can send this back to the bottom of your deck if you so draw it. So yeah, that is it for spells. Traps is very short and sweet. It is 3 Featherstorm, the real reason to play this deck. This card is bonkers. It is, first of all, a hand trap, which is crazy. If you control a Harpie monster, it's a hand trap, but if you control a Winged Beast monster, negate all activated effects of your opponent's monsters this turn, which is insane. I mean, it's as a thought. They're not playing the game with this on the field. And again, such a powerful card. This and Hysteric Sign are way more powerful than cards usually should be. And they sort of mitigate its power by saying, hey, you have to be playing Harpies, but Harpies are actually pretty good. So with these type of cards, you can very easily like outpower your opponent, even if they're playing meta. Like, you just set Featherstorm, activate it. Drytron literally can't play, and then you OTK them next turn. It's so good. And also, if this set card is destroyed by your opponent's card effect, at least that's what I believe it says, yes, you can search Harpie Feather Duster from your deck or your graveyard. So you can use Harpie Feather Duster multiple times. in a game. So that doesn't come up often because you're only running 3 traps. They're not siding in back or destruction, but if they do happen to pop at game 1 or whatever, yeah, very, very good to search Feather Duster. So yes, that is the main deck. It is 40 cards. On to the extra deck. 2 Cyber / Harpie Lady. You shouldn't need more than 2 of this. You can play a third if you're running Extravagance for sure, but Prosperity lets you not have to play like such crazy ratios. So yeah, 2 Cyber / Harpie Lady. It's a Harpie monster that's above level 5, which is very nice for making sure Feather Rest draws you 2 cards, or summon Perfumer when you have this on board. And it's just a nice card for clearing boards, and it's pretty big, 2600, which is like 28 if you have the field spell, which is very, very nice. Then 1 M-Duck, honestly one of the most important cards in the extra deck, because say you unexpected die Harpie Lady, and then you instantly make M-Duck, and then you go and you summon Channeler, Channeler effect, summon Perfumer, right? Well, Harpie Channeler is level 7, so Perfumer checks that there's a level 5 or higher Harpie Lady monster. It'll search 2 cards, which is very nice because searching 2 cards is better than searching 1 card, and it allows you to get more resources and end up plus when the turn's over. So M-Duck, very important. And then it's wind, so you can actually make a Conductor with it, which is very nice. Conductor's just, it's Harpie's Link monster. It can pop your own like spells and traps, which is relevant for Hysteric Sign. But otherwise, it's just a nice monster to go into sometimes or extend further. And then 1 Ferrigite. Yeah, Ferrigite, very, very good because, first of all, it specials Harpie monsters from your hand. And then it can put double or nothing to the bottom of your deck. So it's very good for 2 reasons. Helps Link Climb, and yeah, definitely a mandatory run. And 1 Nightmare Phoenix has our other link too, because, it pops back row, which you don't really need that effect too much, but if you're just going to Link Climb into something like your Nightmare Unicorn, then Phoenix is pretty good. So yeah. Next up, the main boss monster of the deck is definitely Samorg. You want to make this every first turn if you're going first. Even though the deck can go second very, very easily, if I win the die roll, I'm probably saying go first so I can, set up the barrier statue. And yeah, Samorg, just very, very good card. The fact that it searches barrier statue is nice, but it also searches every single Harpie monster in your deck, so you can very easily, if they don't kill you their first turn, you're just gonna extend and snowball with this card, and it makes it to where you're they can't imperm your Channeler when it's under her. They can't target her, so very, very good card, and it procs every single turn, which is insane. Now on to Xyz's. 1 Lightning Chidori. You're playing wind monsters, so you might as well run this card. 1 Baguska, 1 Tornado Dragon, 1 Dweller, which is just like the rank 4 of the format. It just beats almost every single deck, so definitely got to play that if you're running rank 4. And then we have 1 Utopia double, 1 Utopia, and 1 Lightning. The Lightning's in here because we have space. You can also play like Vespinato. Yeah, very, very good card, but this is Utopia's best deck because you're going to claim so many games because of this card and the fact that this deck plays droplets if you have them. It's much easier to kill, if they summon a monster with 4,000 attack, you can still Utopia double and kill them with droplets. So very, very powerful and a must run. I believe this is a 15 card extra deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I had to borrow cards out of my other decks to build the extra deck on the spot, so had to make sure that was 15. And then no side deck because I haven't quite figured out what I want to side in this deck as opposed to just a generic side deck. But also, its side decking right now is very built for your locals because we are, locals is a lot of people's highest form of tournament play right now, if you even have locals around you. So that's just kind of how it is. So build your side deck for your locals until when the ban list comes out and I want to build this deck for the new ban list, I will probably build a side deck that I think will be good. But I do not have one constructed at the moment. So again, hope you guys enjoyed. If you do like Harpie Ladies and want to see more Harpie Lady content, feel free to like and subscribe. Leave your opinion down in the comments. Maybe there are tech choices you are playing that you think would be good in my list, and I'll definitely read and see what you guys think of the deck. Anyways, this was Top Tier Gaming by YouTube.